The biggest change in Hillary and Bill Clinton's lives over the years has probably been in the homes they have shared and the stories they are connected with. They went from being middle class to multimillionaires. For 18 continuous years, the Clintons lived in government-provided housing, from the Arkansas governor's house to the White House. It was here in Arkansas that Bill launched his successful bid for the presidency, using the house as a base of operations for his campaign and as a backdrop for many important speeches and events. But it wasn't a time to think of interiors, calm home sitting, holding tea parties. It all happened only in the place we will share with you. Today, we are taking you on a special journey to the house that belongs to the Clinton family, the special place that feels like a home, and for a good reason. Finally, the Clintons had time to make renovations, explore colors and trends, and even enjoy a time near the koi fish pond and fight with raccoons. And that's not a joke. Of course, by the end of the video, we will talk about their previous homes and land upon the residence they still keep dearly. Already feel intrigued? Then let's move on to the affection place in Washington, with the lush gardens hard to imagine. Whitehaven Residence, Beltway Home. When Hillary Clinton stays in the nation's capital, she and her husband occupy their favorite cozy Whitehaven, a home of their own, a haven, a warm nestle, and a refuge place from political hustle. The home has been a site of many high-profile political and social gatherings. It has hosted dignitaries, politicians, and world leaders, becoming a key location for private meetings and influential discussions during Hillary Clinton's tenure as Senator, Secretary of State, and presidential candidate. Built in 1951, the Georgian-style home is close to Embassy Row in Washington, D.C. Named for its location on Whitehaven Street, Whitehaven is a white-trimmed mansion situated on 0.33 acres in the Massachusetts Avenue Heights neighborhood. Why is it so important to the Clinton family? Is it only because of its prime location, or there is something more within it? As Hillary Clinton recalls, she felt a deep connection right from her first visit to the place. It was an emotional reaction. Hillary knew she would need a place to live throughout the year when the Senate was in session, and she was elected to the Senate in 2000. It was time to search for a good place to start. The house includes a significant library and study spaces where both Clintons have worked on their memoirs and other writings. These rooms are filled with books, personal documents, and memorabilia from their time in public service. The residence has been a quiet retreat for both Clintons. Hillary has written portions of her memoirs, including Living History and What Happened, while at Whitehaven, using the space as a reflective, peaceful location for her work. Whitehaven was a home for multiple residents. Early homeowners included Sir David Muirhead, as well as Henry Brandon and his wife Muffy, who would eventually become mother-in-law to Bill Clinton's communications director, George Stephanopoulos, Republican and general partner of an investment organization. Joseph W. Henderson owned and occupied the property from 1980 to 2000. Following their children's departure to attend Harvard University, Henderson and his spouse opted to sell the property and establish their main home in their other properties located in Berryville, Virginia, and Fishers Island, New York. But how much did it cost to Clinton family to get their own piece of property? Whitehaven was sold to the Clintons by Henderson in 2000 for $2.85 million, below its $3.5 million listing price, and eventually the price assessed value in 2016 of $5.3 million. The Clintons' acquisition of the home was the first time since Woodrow Wilson that a former U.S. president had acquired real estate in Washington. Dorothy Howell Rodham, the the mother of Hillary Clinton, moved into Whitehaven in 2006. According to the Clintons' friends and associates, Hillary Clinton has usually had exclusive use of Whitehaven, and calls to visit the estate were viewed as a high honor extended only to close friends. Known for his love of music, particularly the saxophone, Bill Clinton has spaces within the home dedicated to music, where he can play instruments and enjoy his passion for jazz and other genres. But before it all happened, the family had to hire an interior designer to make their Whitehaven revive. Rosemary Howe, the designer who worked with Ms. Clinton on the project from 2003 to 2006, said the prime task was to bring more light and to create more physical space for sitting and relaxing. The Clintons are known to have an appreciation for art. Their residence reportedly features a collection of artworks, including pieces from American artists and souvenirs from their international travels, reflecting their global interests and experiences. Howe set out to develop the sun-filled conservatory living area that extends off the back of the original footprint, which is now the focal point of the house, working with landscape gardener Lila Fendrick and architect Donald Lococo. According to Howe, the bathrooms were quite retro. The kitchen was somewhat old, but still worked well. Counters and other items were extremely high because the previous residents were very tall. The large solarium was added to the small home's original footprint as part of the renovations. It's Miss Clinton's favorite place to meet with folks, relax, read, or nap. An old serape rug and 2 velvet chairs with tiger prints are part of a broader color scheme of warm reds and caramels that is intended to be both coziness and inviting. A personalized picture of King Hussein and Queen Noor of Jordan sits on the table by the window, alongside a teapot from Ardmore Ceramics that Nelson Mandela sent. Howe has a deep understanding of the former Secretary of State's style, having also worked on her State Department office and guest house in Chappaqua, New York. The Clintons have a romantic connection to their history, says Howe, who not only helped choose the furnishings for the house, but also made an effort to highlight the many trinkets and pieces of art the couple had accumulated over many years, such as a sizable James Nares brushstroke painting in the solarium. One of the Clinton family's main goals was to provide a cozy spot for each person to sit. Decorating the space proved to be a family affair, with Ms. Clinton's mother selecting most of the furnishings and landing on just the right paint and patterns. The living room and entryway are painted in Ms. Clinton's favorite color, pale yellow, Benjamin Moore Hawthorne yellow, HC4 to be exact. Early 19th century Italian fruitwood sconces flank one of 3 paintings the Clintons purchased when in Hanoi, Vietnam. The one is created by a young artist, just coming out of the isolation of Vietnam and opening itself to the world. Moreover, a photo from a skit the couple once performed at a White House Correspondents' Dinner sits atop a mirrored table by Amy Howard. Let's take a look inside the house's kitchen, where bar stools are positioned in front of a window overlooking lush landscaping. A new window was installed to increase light intake and reflect the solarium's atmosphere, replacing the previous smaller one. The backsplash included pointillist arranged glass tiles in tones of coral and crimson. The dining room can be used in several ways. As Hillary recalls, they had actual dinners, buffets, or sometimes cocktail parties. All the foreign secretaries would be invited there. Wanting her guests to feel comfortable at her dining room table, Ms. Clinton decided on a floor covering that is colorful, vibrant, and ultimately forgiving should someone spill something. And yes, a painting by Pierce Brosnan, yes, that Pierce Brosnan, hangs above a Chihuly sculpture in the corner of the dining room. If you can't imagine that, just look here, but it's not the end of a dining territory. Let's come further. Here is a nook, an anteroom front of the kitchen that serves as a place for casual gatherings. It is a holding room as well, for the personnel and security that frequently go with visiting dignitaries. There is a little desk in the room that Miss Rodham utilized for mail and bill payments. Howe tried a variety of colors until she found a red that was coral but not too blue for these walls. Her landing was on Bird of Paradise 1305 by Benjamin Moore. Virginian artist Barbara Ryan is the one who painted the piece over the love seat. The vibrant China Seas fabric, also in Miss Clinton's favorite hue, is used in the second-floor family room. The family enjoys unwinding here, watching TV, and catching up on reading. There was a painting in Camp David, and it currently hangs over the side table. We had been given it as a loan, Ms. Clinton states. We had really come to like living with it, so when we were leaving, the owner asked if we wanted to buy it, and we did. 3 portraits of daughter Chelsea, shot by photographer Brigitte Lacombe, hang on the wall. Last but not least, signing a guest book is encouraged at the Washington, D.C. residence of Bill and Hillary Clinton. The book is perched on a mock petticoat table that Dorothy Rodham, the mother of Ms. Clinton, created when she was still living in a Little Rock, Arkansas residence. The imitation marble-topped item was a favorite of Rodham's that she brought to D.C. when she moved in with her daughter. Bill and Hillary are all featured in enormous photographs that line the stairway that leads to the second story of the house. But in fact, the family prefers to entertain outside. They have lots and lots of outdoor events, hundreds and hundreds of people sometimes. The pool, which had been completely renovated, sees its fair share of activity, with Ms. Clinton, who is an avid swimmer, using the pool along with family and friends, and say, yes, you guessed right. There is a place for meditation or admiration of Eastern culture. Miss Rodham's favorite area on the grounds was the koi pond, which was an original feature. Regardless of the weather, she would go sit in one of those seats. Maybe just drinking tea, maybe with a guest. But it wasn't always peaceful there. Huge raccoons were around and even eating the fish. However, the Clintons eventually discovered a method to frighten them, using music and lighting. Nevertheless, the mansion still receives guests from the neighboring Rock Creek Park, including gigantic stags with enormous antlers. It is a house full of emotions and stories, and yes, it's a haven called Whitehaven. While we have enjoyed the amazing looks of the house, why not give a quick tour of their most famous dwellings? The first home of Bill and Hillary Clinton before they became public figures was in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The home consists of 1 bedroom and is now on the National Register of Historic Places. The Clintons were married in the living room of this same home in 1975 before leaving when Bill became Attorney General of Arkansas. Isn't it a story to take on for the next episode about the Clinton family? Little Rock houses. But then the couple had nestled in Little Rock, Arkansas. Bill Clinton served as Arkansas governor for 5 terms. The building, now a museum, is one of the 4 stops on the pilgrimage tour of Mr. Clinton's pre-White House life. Just 1 year later, they moved to Little Rock. The modest 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home was where they lived while Bill Clinton was Attorney General. They relocated to Midland Street in Little Rock in 1980. After Bill was unsuccessful in his attempt to win re-election as governor, the couple paid $112,000 for the Midland residence. The White House days. It was the highest moment when the family was dwelling in the White House building. Can the family of the president live there? Yes. from the ground floor corridor rooms, transformed from their early use as service areas, to the state floor rooms where countless leaders and dignitaries have been entertained. The White House is both the home of the President of the United States and his family, and a living museum of American history. One of the most known moments cached with cameras was when, back then, President Bill Clinton and his wife Hillary planted a dogwood tree on the grounds of the White House in 1996, in memory of Commerce Secretary Ron Brown, who was killed in a plane crash in Croatia. Hillary lived in the White House with Bill and their daughter Chelsea throughout the duration of Bill's presidency from 1993 to 2001. Chappaqua, New York House. Here is the lovely, peaceful Chappaqua land, where the Clintons loved to reside and never said goodbye to this residence. A family with their daughter Chelsea viewed this home on Old House Lane in Chappaqua, New York. They purchased the $1.7 million four-story abode in a white Georgian colonial theme in 1999. The Clintons lived there after leaving the White House, and it served as Hillary Clinton's residency when she was a New York senator from 2001 to 2009. Amazingly, the Clinton family seems to be affectionate about the places they live, the things they buy for interior purposes, memories kept in every single corner. We love this feeling as well. And what do you think about their Whitehaven house? Welcome to leave comments and share your thoughts. If you have ideas about the following video topic, we want to hear you out. Don't forget to subscribe and keep watching.